Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Here is a message from a fellow African. I think he's saying something to Zimbabweans out there, if we only care to listen.
The Zambian government, Bishop, sold the copper mines in northern Zambia to an outside consortium for $25 million. The copper mines for $25 million because they couldn't manage to keep them. The company that came in and took over the Zambian copper mines in 3 months made a profit of $75 million. They did not pay the Zambian government upfront in cash for the mines. They were going to pay them over a period of time. Here we have this company that has an understanding of how things work, raised the money at the government's expense, took money that the company should have, the government should have been making, and gave it back to the government and said, we paid our debt in full, and give them now 0.006% of the proceeds of copper mining. When right outside the door, there's people in poverty, people in not eating, people ignorant, people dying, high levels of AIDS. And what's the deal? Churches are full. People are praising God. Africans pray all night. Prayer is not in the success equation. Prayer is in the revelation equation. Decision making is in the success equation. You have to make a decision and be sound. We have to be disciplined and make sure we go and get what God has called us to get. You can be full of the Holy Ghost, but you can still be ignorant. But as for me and my house, I will get understanding. I will get understanding. I will get understanding. It's time now for us to rise up and be counted. This year, the country of Ghana turns 50. Ghana was born the same year we were born, in 1957. Ghana and South Korea had their independence dates on the same day, the same year. But look where South Korea is. South Korea is by nature not a Christian nation. South Korea by nature are Buddhists. China, which is the next large world economy, they have stated that in the next 10 years, 20% of the Chinese people will be multimillionaires. That means almost 450 million Chinese will be millionaires. They are not Christians, they are Buddhists. The Japanese are Shintoists. Those in Indonesia and Malaysia are Muslims. Understanding as to how.
Well, he has a point. We can't run away from the fact that we in Zimbabwe, for instance, have all but destroyed the country. Recently, the president opened the Troublesome traffic interchange at the cost, built at the cost of $100 million US. And the nation was ecstatic. Celebrations. We were all being told this is success. And yet, we have got one of the most corrupt regimes in the world. In 2023, Al Jazeera, an Al Jazeera documentary, showed that Zimbabwe was losing a staggering $1.6 billion US a year in smuggled gold alone. And yet, that was all swept under the carpet. When Ian Smith said Zimbabweans will be walking on raw sewage in 1975, Many people dismissed him as a racist. And yet, what he was saying was true. Because, like it or not, we are walking on raw sewage. Indeed, we are not just walking on raw sewage, we are drinking it. We know that raw sewage has been flowing into some of the rivers and dams supplying our waters. Contaminating the water we drink. And yet, all these stories in Mnangagwa, Zimbabwe, they are not to be reported because they are considered to be unpatriotic. They undermine unity. We are all expected to be quiet in the face of all those stories. Indeed, Mnangagwa has made it clear that anyone who oversteps the line will be punished. Anyone who doesn't toe the SANU-PF line, chibhakwira muziso. This is what he said recently, warning all the so-called independent journalists out there, independent media out there.
Under my leadership, the media will continue to be our cornerstone for promoting unity, peace, social cohesion, harmony, and the love for our country. Anything besides this, chibhakwira muziso.
We are a failed state because we don't pay attention to detail. Here is the man who is occupying the highest office in the land. And yet here he is boldly stating that he will not tolerate the truth to be spoken. And we hear those threats and say nothing. I believe detail is important. Indeed, detail is everything. We have failed ourselves because we've not been paying attention to detail. The preacher here is trying to encourage us to pay attention to detail. Knowledge is important. If we have got to appreciate the importance of knowledge, we have to pay attention to detail. Detail matters. Detail is everything. If we don't comprehend the detail, then we hear and it goes one ear out the other. And I think that is what has been at the problem here. I've said on this platform, and I'll say it again, Zimbabwe is a failed state. And the number one reason why we are a failed state is our failure to hold free, fair, and credible elections. Our failure to remove failed leaders. Mnangagwa cannot dictate to the people what they should say. If he has failed, it is the duty of the media to educate the people on what is really going on. And it is the duty of the citizen to hold him to account. And when the man who is supposed to be held to account is the one who boldly says that if anyone reports on his failures, muziso, that to me is a red flag. People should immediately say, no, you cannot be president. No one is above democratic accountability. Zimbabwe will remain a failed state as long as we have got a regime of individuals who think they have the divine right to rule. And we, the people, accept it as normal. That is not normal. No one has a divine right to rule. We want free, fair, and credible elections because it is no more than a right. It is the essence of good governance. Zimbabwe is a failed state because we've been stuck for 45 years and counting with a corrupt, incompetent, and tyrannical ZANU-PF dictatorship. The only way to end it is to make sure we have free, fair, and credible elections, and those in positions of power are held accountable to the people. Detail matters. Detail is everything. We have failed to hold free, fair, and credible elections for 45 years and counting. That is unforgivable. We're paid dearly for that foolishness. How long are we going to continue to pay for that folly? Think about it. Have a good day.